The boy's face was full of shit. He wiped with a hand and actually found that the facial features were gone. Only a smooth face was left. He couldn't breathe or speak. Just then, a ball of mud jumped out of the well, like a puddle of soft body monster. The boy's eyes actually grew into his body. Then the boy ran ahead, and the mud chased after him. Others were shocked by this once-in-a-century monster. A man raised his gun. He shot at the monster and shot him to pieces. He thought he was dead, but unexpectedly, he recovered in a short time, and he was running around alive. The woman saw him running towards her house and picked up a shovel to cut him in half, but this thing was too resilient and didn't die. He also extended the long arms through the doorway in the room and snatched the girl from the man's arms. Then he took her inside itself and turned into a humanoid mud monster. He also ate a bite of himself and said it was delicious. After this series of shocking actions, he jumped into a deep well and slipped away. The girl's parents fell to the well and were distraught. No matter how much they shouted, it was to no avail. This was the 11th child taken from the town, until one day, two men came to the village. They claimed to be exorcists. They could catch all the monsters and monsters. They were called the Brothers Grimm. At night, the Brothers Grimm began to cast spells. First, they drew an A-formation diagram on the ground. But before the spell was finished, a 12th-level monster wind blew in. It turned out that the Brothers Grimm really attracted the monster out. It seemed that this A-trigram diagram was not in vain. The monster was about to attack the two. Both sides began a fierce struggle, although the process was very twisted and tense. Da-Jong finally shot the monster in the heart. With a scream, the monster fell to the ground and turned into ashes. The villagers who witnessed the whole city rushed to report the good news. However, the next second, the female monster in the house came back to life. What was going on? It turned out that this was all a trick by the Brothers Grimm. They specialized in creating spooky events to make people panic. Then they appeared to help exorcise the monster. After getting the money earned from exorcism, they came to the tavern to eat and drink. After this incident, the monster appeared again. The little girl was picking wolfberries in the forest. While she was picking, a strange noise came from the cave. She was so scared that she ran away and saw the tree moving halfway. This made the girl even more scared. She threw away the basket and ran as fast as she could. But in the end, she could not escape from the clutches of the monster. All that was left was her red coat hanging from the branch. The next day, another girl was lured into the woods by the monster. The branch took one of her scarves. Curiosity drove her into the cave. Then she disappeared without a trace. 2 lives in a row. The king was shocked. He called in the Brothers Grimm to exorcise the monster. But this time, the Brothers Grimm didn't set up a trick. That meant they weren't responsible for the monster this time. They confessed to the king. The king gave them a chance to redeem themselves. Let them catch the real monster. The girl was caught in a spider's web, and then a horse lifted her up. It ate her with its mouth open. The girl struggled desperately in its stomach, but it was to no avail. A horse actually ate its master. The girl had fed a handful of spiders to the horse before she went to bed. The horse ate it with gusto. In the middle of the night, the girl was awakened by the horse's movement. She came to check with a lantern. Just as she was calming the horse down, she found a spider spitting out of the horse's mouth, which became firmly wrapped around the girl's hands. More and more spider threads almost wrapped around her whole body. The girl struggled to no avail. Soon she was rolled into a chrysalis and waited to be eaten. The girl's horse went crazy, punching and kicking in a frenzy. It woke up the others from their sleep. Then it ran off into the woods. Ertway rode after him, followed by the Brothers Grimm. But when they reached the forest, they found that all the trees had come to life, blocking their way. A wild wolf slowly approached. It howled and pounced on her Tway, but the wolf didn't hurt her Tway in the end. After looking at her, it left. Then the 3 of them came to a tower nearly 100 meters high. Gertway told everyone that this tower was built by the queen. Many years ago, a plague broke out in the town. The empress hid in this 100-meter tower to save her life, but she didn't know that the virus was spread by the wind. Eventually, she was infected in the tower and died in the tower. The Brothers Grimm climbed the tower to find out what was going on. Looking down from the tower, they found 12 coffins placed around the tower. Could this number have something to do with the missing child? Then Da-Jong went inside the tower. The place was covered with dust and cobwebs. Here Da-Jong saw a piece of sheepskin. On it was written that at the time of the blood moon, if the blood of 12 girls was used to sacrifice, then the dead queen could be revived. It was understandable why those girls disappeared. Then Da-Jong came to a bed and found the queen lying upright on it. The whole body was dry like an Egyptian mummy. The man licked the toad hard. The taste was unbelievable. Such a heavy taste would naturally be followed by bizarre events. A corpse floated on the lake. Before Shrike could figure out what was going on, another hungry wolf appeared behind him. It barked at Shrike as if to eat him. Suddenly his head broke off to reveal a human head. Oh my god, it was a werewolf. Shai was so scared that he hit himself. The werewolf picked up the little girl and put her into the sarcophagus, put on her crystal shoes, then he pricked one of her fingers and took a drop of her blood, letting the crow take it back and put it in the mouth of the dried up queen. At that moment, Da-Joan saw the young queen in the mirror. She bewitched Da-Joan with her beauty. It turned out that the drop of blood had awakened the withered queen. She used her hands to control the image in the mirror. Da-Joan was about to lose control. Suddenly, a stone hit the glass. He was thrown by his brother Shuai, who came over. He rushed to tell his brother what he had just seen. Da-Joan instantly came to his senses. He hurriedly grabbed a rope and slid down from the tower with it. It hit the werewolf on the ground. The moment it landed, the queen screamed. It turned out that the rope Da-Joan used was the queen's hair. The brothers Grimm rushed back to the town to tell the villagers the truth, but the king didn't believe their words. They tied them up and put them back into the forest. Then they set the forest on fire. Just when the brothers were about to lose their strength, Ertway arrived in time to rescue them. She saw the werewolf again. Little did she know that the werewolf was her father. Her father was under the queen's spell and became her slave, so he turned into a werewolf to persecute the girl. Now Ertway became the 12th girl and was found seen by the werewolf. The queen woke up and found the forest on fire, so she blew 1,000 years of stench. The forest fire was put out. Everyone was dizzy from the stench. Then came the blood moon moment. It was the day when the queen was revived. She put on the crown and drank the mixed blood of 12 people. She slowly regained her beautiful appearance. The brothers Grimms also broke through the difficulties. They came to the tower to stop the queen's resurrection. The queen activated the mirror's compulsion power to control Da-Joan and let him stab Shuai with a knife. Then she took out the grinding nail from the werewolf's body and put it into Shuai's body to make him become her slave. Da-Joan smashed the mirror with a hammer. At the same time, the queen began to shatter like a mirror. It turned out that this mirror was the queen's conjoined body. The werewolf, who came to his senses, grabbed the most central piece of mirror, carried it from the tower and leapt down, with the mirror completely shattered. The queen also exploded. The tower also lost its magic and collapsed. Well, the movie is over. See you in the next video.